Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, however, whenever you be watching. Hopefully, you're watching live. I did make sure to tweet this out. I was gonna also post it in the Marks group, which you can check out. Everybody can check out youtube.com/user/pro wrestling marks. Today's very special episode for me here. Gonna be talking the WWE draft here with my guest, going back and forth with picks. Kind of lay down the rules here, I guess, for everybody watching and for my guest as well. Even though we went over it last week leading up to this episode. As I said, going back and forth, 20 for Raw, 20 for SmackDown. We're going to start this thing off with a coin toss. Who represents who, which I thought actually was an added thing, a good thing, than to say, oh, he's going to represent Raw, I'm going to represent SmackDown. Have that added twist of having a coin toss and kind of on the fly, thinking, not knowing which brand you're going to represent and then drafting from there, even though you might have some of your people already planned who you might want to take. I got to think of brand specific in that way. Now, this draft is going to be with us as, like, let's say we are the GMs of Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown, and how we would do it, who we would draft, who we would shape our roster around, how we would have it, and we'll explain that while we're going through the process. But that's how it's going to be. It's not going to be of us predicting how the draft will go, not us thinking how WWE will book it and who they'll have. Who would we want if we were in charge of a brand in if it was a real life draft of WWE superstars. So that's how that's going to go. We're also going to after the draft, we're going to be talking a little bit of Monday Night Raw, just a little bit, but also focus on one of the biggest stories in the past week being Roman Reigns and his suspension, 30-day suspension, which ironically will be up 3 days, just mere 3 days before WWE Battleground event is live on the WWE Network, which you all can get for just $9.99, of course. So without further ado, I think my guest is here. I'd like to welcome my guest for the evening, the man of the hour, I guess so to speak, ME, who also is with me on Main Event Mark sometimes as well. Emmy, welcome to the show. How are you doing? I guess he's not there yet. I see he's here in the Hangouts, but not able to communicate. If he's unable to, I might have to find a different way to do this draft, or I might have to make it a predictions draft. We'll see how that has to go. Uh, I guess before he comes on, I guess I can talk about Raw and a little bit of happenings and goings of Raw until he comes back. And if he is back and he chimes in, lets me know he's on here, then we can go into the draft part of it. But um, excuse me, for Monday Night Raw, I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed for what it was, prolonging things. The ending was a little different. But interesting, Dean Ambrose WWE champion. I think that was I didn't say part of WWE having him being called WWE champion and not WWE World Heavyweight Champion, which thought he'd be maybe called up all the way to the draft, and then they would split the belts up there, and then that would change. I don't know. I don't know at all. Testing 1 2 3. Just checking something here with my volume stuff. Hmm. Interesting. I'm trying to check volume control here for this. I might have to. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait here until my co-host will be able to join me here for this episode, or I might have to see if somebody else will be able to join in the fun to represent.
Okay, this is weird. I did it through my phone, and I'm perfectly fine. My laptop is trying to be a jerk, man.
Oh, I didn't know. I was just gonna see about that because I didn't know if you were on your phone and not working on the phone, like the last time I tried to get you on. And then I thought maybe the laptop would work, but I guess this time it was the opposite.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I'm trying to see now. I'm trying to do a dual thing where I'm on the phone with you, and then I'm also going to see about getting on. See, it says I joined it.
Hmm. Yeah, and as I just mentioned to you, I even tried to mute you just to see if I had control of that one, and I couldn't even mute you or change your levels of volume. So
That's
that was
so weird.
I don't know. There's two MEs here. Woohoo! Hey,
It's
that's
just
not bad.
just
Hey,
just.
you are the man. It's better to have two MEs than no MEs. So that's
Well, like I always tell like the QR and all you need to do that. You're going to do something and then don't deliver.
right. Exactly. But okay, so let's get this party started. Don't want to waste any more of Emmy's time or anybody else's. We're gonna do the coin
I
toss.
don't want to waste your time. I'm sorry. You invited me on, man. I don't want to waste your time.
No, I mean, trust me, it's the other way around. So we're gonna do the coin toss. You are the guest man of the hour, as I said. You can call it in the air. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails, and it is tails.
All
So
right.
which brand would you like to represent? And you get the first pick.
Like to go ahead and represent SmackDown.
Yay! Okay, then as well
And
by winning coin toss, you get the first pick of the 2016 draft. As you get the first
oh,
pick of the
sweet.
draft.
My number one pick will be. I'm not going to do that to you because he's your boy. So I'm going to pick Seth Rollins instead. I'm going to pick Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose.
Okay. Then for me here for Monday Night Raw, I'm gonna go with the newly named WWE Champion Dean Ambrose to be the flag bearer of Monday Night Raw.
Sweet. All right. And I got to make sure I have this typed up here. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need you to do that. I think I'm gonna
My,
need you to do that. Type up our draft picks here.
all right, let me go ahead and get that going. And I am adjusting. I apologize to the people, the wonderful people in internet land, but because I'm on my phone, I have to adjust my camera like so.
Understood.
But they can still hear me, and they get to see my awesome avatar. Can you hear me, Copeland?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right, sweet. So let's see. I got Seth Rollins, my number one pick. My number two pick will be Kevin Owens.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Then my second overall pick for Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns.
I can't fault you for that. I was weighing whether or not I was gonna do him or what you call him. Let's see, Steven, you have Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. Let's see here. Okay, crap. Come on, Windows 10. Boo! Windows 10, I'll tell you. Windows 10, man. Come on, enjoy the ride. I'm just kidding. Windows 10 is not that bad. It's actually my mouse pad. It is not Windows 10 fault that my mouse pad decided to go ahead and be stupid and have to use an external mouse. So I have no problem with that. Okay, so number, let's see, Micah, I have Seth and Kevin Owens. I am going with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn at my number 3.
Mm-hmm. That one's interesting because you have Owens and Zayn on the same show.
Yep.
Yepers. All right, for my number 3 pick here, well, not overall, but number 3 here for Monday Night Raw, I'm gonna, well, I'm gonna go with Big Cass of Endzone Cass as my number 3 pick.
Big Cass. All right. Big Cass of Enzo and Cass. All right. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt at my number 4.
All right, for my next pick, I'm gonna go with the WWE United States Champion, Rusev.
Okay. All right. I'm going with Cesaro. Cesaro is my next pick. Because we are doing this based on how we would draft, not like how they're going to draft, right?
Right, and that's right.
So we get to use logic, right?
Use whatever logic we want to use, yeah.
Yeah.
However we want our shows to be, and how I would like my show to be. And my next pick here to represent good old Monday Night Raw, the flagship show of WWE, the WWE Women's Champion, Charlotte.
Good pick. Good pick. All right. Let's see. I am going to go then Bex
Mhm.
as my first woman's wrestler.
Okay, for Monday Night Raw, my next pick, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
That's a really good choice. Real good choice. Let's see here. Hmm. I guess what I'm going to do is go with. Oh no, and this is just Raw SmackDown roster. This has nothing to do with NXT. I was about to call him an NXT guy. um, this is gonna be a hard choice. It's gonna be a really hard choice. Um,
Now you can have people who you think may return and stuff that you want on your brand, but
oh well, yeah, because there are some guys that are hurt, so that will be good additions to. I guess I'll do this. Oh, they got the part timers. The part timers are the Rock and them. They get to be on too. They get to pick. They get to be drafted to certain ones.
Undertaker,
Yeah,
Rock,
the
Brock
part
Lesnar,
timers do get
Mark
drafted.
Sanders, yes, yes, yes.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if I want to take a chance on that. So, with that being the case, darn it, I'm gonna have to pick him, even though I don't want to pick him.
Mm-hmm.
Give me John Cena.
Woo!
Gosh, I have to pick John Cena. Ah, why do I have to pick John Cena? Because I know what's going to happen. I know how much hate mail I can get. Okay, John Cena. Yeah.
Think of those creative meetings. John Cena runs into your creative meeting saying, "What the heck is this script? I'm the one supposed to go over."
Yeah, pretty much. I pick John Cena. He will lose almost. Well, he won't lose every feud. That would be nonsensical. He still has a character that kids love and stuff like that. So, yeah, go ahead. I had to pick John Cena. Go ahead.
All right, great pick. Next, for me, for Monday Night Raw, to represent Monday Night Raw, my next pick goes to one of my favorites, the Viper, Randy Orton, being my next pick here to represent and be part of Monday Night Raw.
That's a good choice right there. Monday Night Raw. Let's see here. My next pick out of this whole roster here, man. Um, what I'm going to do is pick. Yeah, I'm probably going to need. I'm probably going to do that. Give me English one, Dolph Ziggler.
There you go. You need somebody on the roster for the job.
Exactly.
Why not? And make your other guys look strong. I mean, if you're gonna hold off your feud with Sami Zayn and KO, with us as the GMs picking up WWE from July 19th on, then
hmm
have to have some kind of matches in between. My next pick to represent Monday Night Raw and for Monday Night Raw is Alberto Del Rio, the Mexican aristocrat to be part of Raw. So my next pick, Alberto Del Rio.
Nice. Nice pick. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure that we are that we are getting even on our numbers here. Bullets numbering. Boom. All right. That's 8 picks for you. Excuse me. 8 picks for me, and I'm on pick number 9. All right. Where we going up to 20, or is it 25?
I said 20, but let's go up to 25.
Okay, I didn't know if it was 20 or 25 as far as how they're going to do it, but 20 should be good enough for us. Let's
Yeah,
go
we'll do it. Keep it 20.
with, yeah, let's go with Corbin. And no, I would not be setting up more matches between him and Dolph Ziggler. I
I
think
know
we've
you have
seen
them both
enough
on
of
the
that.
roster, but hey, I'm kind of sad at being a sad puss about that one because I was thinking of picking up Baron Corbin here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my roster. I'm like, man, I'm very heel heavy. I guess I like bad guys.
I guess that's your thing. You're the heel. But okay, for me, my next pick, which will not be Baron Corbin, but my next pick here for Monday Night Raw is going to be another up and coming star that I can mold into the next top superstar of WWE, let alone here next top superstar for Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews.
I was weighing whether or not I was going to do him or Baron Corbin. So yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. So let's see here. Okay. Uh, I'm going to go the current Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. Do not. I say that with less disdain than I did for having to pick John Cena, for feeling like I had to pick John Cena.
Like you were forced.
Uh, say what?
It felt like when you did the John Cena pick, felt like you were being forced to pick John.
Have you still got to have somebody who can put butts in seats, and no matter how much I personally don't like the guy, and no matter how much I personally think he's trash, uh, you know, wrestling, I know the business side of it. He's a workhorse. He'll get his face out there. He'll do bad movies for me. He'll do special office visits if I need him to, if I was that kind of guy. All kinds is either speculated as to doing or actually has done. Did I get you weak over there, sir?
Well, all right. All right, my number 10 pick, right? I'm on number 10 here. And I'm going to have that and designate that to the cover boy of WWE 2K17, the Beast Incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar.
All right. Brock Lesnar. Whew. Let's see him squash all these guys on your roster. This will be fun. But we'll probably do combined pay-per-view, so he'll get to squash everybody.
Okay, so here's what I want to do here.
All right. Since
All right, hold off, hold off, hold
say
off.
what?
All right, we're right now at 10, right? 10 picks for me, 10 picks for you, made.
Yep.
All right.
10 picks for both of us.
So I want you, since I don't have it in front of me, you're the one typing it up. Let me know your overall thoughts on both of our rosters so far.
Okay, well, here's the Raw roster as of now. Current WWE Champion Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Big Cass, Rusev, Charlotte, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, Apollo Crews, and Brock Lesnar. Um, when it comes to your roster, there is a better balance, in my opinion, of heels and faces than with my roster. My roster, I have, as far as the clean cut, clear faces, I have, I think, Sami Zayn. I only have Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Sasha Banks, and John Cena, and Dolph Ziggler. Well, actually, I think I'm actually kind of balanced too. I think I balanced it out with I actually had it balanced out. I thought I didn't balance it out. Never mind. But it looks like we both pretty balanced as far as heels is concerned. One thing that we're both lacking right now is that we definitely put the divas the women's division on the back burner. We got the headliners, the two headliners of the women's division, but we don't have any corresponding excuse me, corresponding opponents for them. Is that due to the real lack of competition, or was that due up to this point from what we've seen from the WWE, just really a lack of quality booking from the women's division? Because really, if you remember, let me turn this back on. Because really, if you remember from up until what they did with WrestleMania, what happened? For what they did with WrestleMania, they really surrounded around three ladies, and they kind of pushed Paige to the back burner, pushed Emma to the back burner a little bit. Now she's hurt, so she's definitely gone. They got Dana Brooke in there, but like she's really at the back burner. So is that really, is that their fault, or is that the woman's fault, or is that just the way they creative? Just okay, here's the women's revolution. A woman's in the middle of the WrestleMania poster marquee. They probably had one of the best matches, if not arguably the best match of the night at WrestleMania, and we're gonna go away from the women wrestling for. What do you think?
No, and yeah, I agree there 100%. Also, to kind of piggyback off that, I think what they need to do is just have more feuds with the women, have other secondary feuds. Like they're seems like they're trying to have at least one of them with Becky Lynch and Natty, but maybe even have more. And maybe with this brand split, if we actually do split the women's division roster, if that's maybe how it's booked, then we can actually have maybe two feuds on Raw, two feuds on SmackDown. Then we get to a pay-per-view, whether it's SmackDown specific or Raw specific or equal, which would be Survivor Series being the next one that's equal after SummerSlam. Then we have the more feuds for the women's division, more airtime on WWE TV, and be able to show to the audience that WWE does Canada. They do want it to strive and thrive and be better and be what we think it can be and what I personally want it to be, sort of thing. So, it could be a half and half of everything, whether it's for booking, not having enough time on shows, um, with SmackDown not being live, what it's been, kind of hard to really try to show things on that show at all because of being taped and spoilers of people reading, like me and others. That may
Mm-hmm.
not watch SmackDown and stuff like that, so that's hard to really promote anything, let alone the women's division. That it's in itself needing to improvement. That's why I want to see Paige shown more, Summer Rae given some love as well. But just like
Summary.
but just
That's
like in the men's case, not everybody can be champion all at once. You gotta
right.
you gotta build to it, and B, there's however you want to say it, a protocol. Who deserves it first, sort of thing. But I would, in honesty, would want Summer Rae to be given a chance to maybe get up there, get to at least in the conversation in matches, um, and given a chance by WWE to maybe even be a women's champion, whether it's transition champion
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a real title reign. However, um, because I think just personally, I think that she deserves that. It'd be nice to see as well. So I think so those things to help improve the women's division will really help. I really hope that with the talent that they have now, talent that they'll get from NXT in the future, with Alexa Bliss, Asuka at some point, Bailey, of course, could be, I'm sure, coming up soon. Maybe even the draft. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Bailey
Yeah.
coming up in
I
other
mean, you know what, and
will
that
be
could be why
strong.
they, like, for example. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just
No,
gonna say.
I was saying, for example, you know how everyone thought that that mystery opponent, a lot of people thought the mystery opponent for the Miz last night was going to be Finn Balor.
Yes, sir.
They could be waiting for the draft to actually call up the NXT talent that they want to call up.
Oh, that's for sure. That's another topic I guess we can talk about here at the halftime of the draft. Is the WWE draft itself for WWE? I was reading somewhere that 11 to 15 NXT superstars will be called up after, and a keyword being after, the WWE draft to go to Raw or SmackDown. I would rather it
Mm.
happen at the draft and be drafted being like a, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened moment, and one of them being drafted to a brand. Like, let's say, Samoa Joe to SmackDown, or Bailey out of nowhere drafted to Raw, being on the same brand as Sasha Banks. I don't know, something like that. That moment like that, being part of the, all around big moment of the WWE draft that will change the WWE history, WWE landscape like that on a dime. So if you have something like that, I think that would be better than to wait after the draft to have all these call-ups. But then again, it goes back to the thinking of how many call-ups do you want to have. You don't want to poach or just rip out your NXT roster because you have to have some weight in the wings. So, it's finding that happy medium, as I like to say, the happy medium of superstars, men and women, that you would want to call up that makes sense and works for storyline purposes and in general purpose, and they do, each individual superstar deserving the call up for one thing as well, but then also having enough talent still in your NXT brand, so to speak, and going from there. So I would hope maybe 6 to 10 maybe would be okay to me, um, but over 10, I don't know. That's just me. What are your thoughts on the NXT side of things in regards to the WWE draft?
Oh no, I will have to agree with you. I think they're the weakest part of NXT right now is their women's division. They have Bailey, Nia Jax, and Asuka, and Carmella's trying to make a comeback. Alexa Bliss is trying to do some things. And I've seen Alexa Bliss try to do some things. But when I think the NXT women's division, I only think three names. Mainly because the way they push in the title picture, but also with the way they've been doing their matches. They have been booking them so strong over the last few months in this title picture that I don't see. And not only have they been booking them in that, but like Bailey, for example, right? When you see Bailey and you hear her talk, it doesn't seem like that she has a lot of charisma, like at first. Then when she gets in the ring and she has, like when you see Bailey, you see everything that they try to book John Cena to be: a never give up, never say die, underdog attitude, a never give up type attitude. But when you see her, you see that it's actually a genuine thing because Bailey doesn't as super smoking hotness. She's a great looking woman. She's a great looking young woman. But
Mm-hmm.
if you put her beside Sasha Banks is smoking hotness. People think Becky Lynch is smoking hotness, and they'll put Bailey as, well, she's playing Jane. She's your hometown girl that likes to hug people. And so but everything about her is homegrown, hometown, is wholesome, and when she does what she does, it makes you feel that you want to be with her, that you want to be for her, that you want to buy a grown man, that you want, as a grown man, you want to buy I'm a hugger shirt because you appreciate what she does so much. And the same draw was with Sasha Banks, the same draws with Asuka, the same draws with Nia Jax being what this women's division need, and that is a Brock Lesnar type of figure that you have to really do some damage like Asuka did in order to actually win a match against Nia Jax. So if they take those three girls, I don't know what the women's division is going to do. They're just going to have Carmella and Alexa Bliss, and that's it. They got other ladies there, but for the guys, offer. But if you snatch up American Alpha, that tag team division, it's not going to be as good. And then if you snatch up Finn Balor, which I know they're going to do, if you snatch up Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Nakamura, and Austin Aries, that NXT roster is done. Now, I ain't saying they ain't got nobody that's good, but when it comes to drawing power,
Mm-hmm.
all the guys will be on the main rosters. That is done for at least another 2-3 months, and they're gonna have to reload with somebody else because that's just. I mean, we really Mojo Rawley's gonna be the guy. Mojo Rawley. No offense to the brother, he's been there for a while, but Mojo Rawley is not going to be the guy who leads you to NXT into the future. No, he's not. Like ever. But that's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree, and I guess my 2 cents about the women you were talking about, because that's subjective of who you think who's hotter or whatever. Like to me, the hottest would be Summer Rae and Renee Young. Renee Young doesn't wrestle, but still be part of a roster.
You really think the hottest is Summer Rae?
Yeah, Summer Rae number one, Renee Young number two, and then
I'm proud of you, Copeland. You don't have to fall for anyone else's standards.
Sasha Banks number three. So
If you like Ray's not ugly. I don't know why people think that she's ugly, but I guess it's just the way she smiles. I don't know.
oh wait,
She's fine.
no, Sasha Banks not number three. Sorry, Charlotte.
Not such a Summer Rae. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying my ranking. I have Summer Rae, I have Renee Young, and then I have Charlotte as my number three, top three. But anyway,
Okay.
other than again, that's just me. Again, each his own.
Yeah. Thank you for having your preference. People thought I was weird when I said, "Oh no, I think China's attractive." What? Yeah, she's attractive. She's got muscles. I mean, it ain't like she's an ugly woman. She look like a man. They're like, but she's a bodybuilder, so that makes sense. You do realize that bodybuilders have a tendency to have a higher libido, right? Come on, guys, think. Yeah,
Use that brain power instead of losing it. But anyways,
exactly.
I guess well, actually, you know what? Since we're on topics, I want to get your thoughts on the Roman Reigns suspension. What do you think could have been done, should have been done? Should he been kept in the WWE title match at WWE Battleground? As I stated at the top of the show, he gets 30 days. He technically will be back 3 days prior to WWE Battleground that will be live on the WWE Network for just $9.99. Do you think it was right for WWE to keep him in that match, or what have you done? What are your overall thoughts on the Roman Reigns situation?
Well, from a lot of different outlets, I've been hearing various opinions about how he's billed as John Cena 2.0. First and foremost, a John Cena 2.0 will wrestle like a John Cena 1.0. He wrestles far better than John Cena, so I give him credit for that. Way more athletic in the ring and can make much help from guys like Seth Rollins and AJ Styles to make him look good as John Cena does. Everyone has a dance partner that can make him look good, but Roman Reigns can match a level of intensity with those guys. With that being said, he should have whatever it is that he did, whether it was the booger sugar, whether it was a little bit of the ganja, whether it was PEDs, which I highly doubt that he did because he's not the kind of guy that needs to build extra muscle because he has a natural build for it anyway. That he just enhanced what he already has been given naturally, and he just worked hard on his body anyway. I don't think he needs performance enhancers. But anyway, whatever he did, which is good, and keeping him in the match is a good thing. And the reason why it's a good thing is because a lot of people were starving for this match. They wanted this match at WrestleMania. We couldn't get it because Seth Rollins was hurt. Not only that, this is an awesome opportunity for the WWE to do what a lot of people would like for them to do, and that's give Roman Reigns a believable character. So days where he's not on TV, no one's going to hear from him, no one's going to see him. He can come back, drop 5 cuss words in a sentence, and everyone be like, wow, he must be a heel now. And then guess what? All that hate, all that destruction, all those boos that you gotten because you refused to give us what we wanted in the real Roman Reigns, you're going to get everything that you wanted and more. He's already making sales. As a heel, he's going to make more sales because people see him. They don't see a good guy. They see a bad guy. They don't even see the guy. They see a bad guy. They see a guy who looks like he's a prick in real life. He's too cool. He's too smooth for you. So why are you sitting there coming up in his space? If he comes back as that, then it's a successful suspension. That suspension can be a success for Roman Reigns. He can come back as a heel, come back as a bad guy, beat up on Seth Rollins like crazy, and then beat up on Ambrose, get his title back, get the title back, cuss out everybody, be a heel, and people will cheer him for it. But, we're talking logic here. We know that our logic as fans sometimes isn't the same as the logic as the WWE creative team
Right.
or the writers, because obviously they know better than us. Because for some odd reason, even though John Cena and Roman Reigns have been the only two faces in WWE history outside of Lex Luger to be royally booed. And I ain't talking about the mixed crowd reaction. I ain't talking about that nonsense. I'm talking
Right.
about they've been booed. They've been primarily booed most of their outings. Um, then but I guess that doesn't matter because they're still getting a reaction. We gotta tell fans to be silent when people come out. That way, if you're completely dead, that's worse than boos or cheers because then
Yeah, because that's
I don't
still
care. Then.
yeah. Because if you boo, even if you intensely boo and the whole building's booing, it's still as WWE would see it giving Reigns a reaction. You're giving him a reaction whether you boo or cheer. They always say it's still a reaction, just like no news or no not bad news is not no news kind of thing, and no news is not bad news. So my thoughts on the Reigns situation and suspension. I kind of thought I would have wanted him to be taken out of the title match and have it one on one. Now, what was interesting with what happened on Raw is that what could have happened is made it to a fatal five way with AJ Styles and John Cena added to the mix. Your boy John Cena being in a title match for the WWE Championship at Battleground. That would have been interesting. But I think even more so, I would rather it have been just a one on one, not let Reigns being able to be part of the match. Um, but with how Raw started with Seth Rollins talking about Reigns and WWE letting him do that, and me thinking that was part of the punishment as well, that's why they're going to keep him in the title match, let him have that. And maybe they did already have plans. Oh, obviously they did have plans before this whole thing happened that maybe he was supposed to face Brock rematch, Reigns Brock again at SummerSlam for the title, the WWE Championship. Depending on how Brock does against Mark Hunt. So, um, but then again, it also brings up the light about the double standards because I've hearing reports that Vince McMahon wasn't even going to plan to suspend him until it got win and until he forced his hand to do so and suspend him
Mm-hmm.
for the 30 days. So, but then again, that's really in anything, any company, double standards of favoritism, however you want to call it and categorize it. That just happens with it. If it's going to be if it happened to let's Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, John Cena, and others there at the top of the card, they might get more lenient than guys at the bottom of the card, like uh, Social Outcast member.
Adam Rose.
Yeah, he got cut loose quick, and the fact that they even brought it up because if other people were had any issues or had to be suspended, like Adam Rose and others, sometimes they don't even bring it up on TV. They just pretend he doesn't exist for those 30, 60, 90 days or whatever. But with Roman Reigns, you kind
Exactly.
of have to, and B, with him being in that prominent role, he kind of gets some favoritism. So as much as that kind of annoys me, I kind of also have to understand that that's just part of the business, whether it's WWE or any other, where they kind of have that always like high school mentality, politics in the back kind of situation there, which is what it is. But like I said, I'd rather him not be in the title match during those 30 days, or have him come back still as a face, build to him to a heel turn, and winning the title back at SummerSlam would be my thinking of having him. Because I would say I agree with you. He definitely should turn heel, and this thing could be a blessing in disguise, as I sometimes say. But I don't know if I would have him turn heel right away when he comes back. I would wait and build it to SummerSlam or some point in the future after Battleground and go from there. But like I said,
Battleground.
we'll see how things go when we get to Battleground. They're still gonna have the Shields triple threat at Battleground because I thought another thing with the blessing in disguise kind of thinking you pull you pull Roman Reigns, you have one on one Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and then you hold off the triple threat to SummerSlam, and then we have it at the pay per view we wanted to have. Well, either SummerSlam or
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania, and having to have it as this battleground. Because what I thought was going to happen for battleground was with the WWE draft being the go home show SmackDown with the first live SmackDown that maybe they would be building more about this new world title. Dean Ambrose on Raw being called WWE champion to me kind of confirms that probably we're going to be getting the world title, whether it's the WCW world title back or a new looking title belt that'll be called the world title. However, wherever that was going to be prominent, and then that would be definitive battleground. That would be the big thing for the pay per view already. That they would make a match at the draft after draft picks are picked and two top superstars of SmackDown or maybe 4, however they do it, battle it out at Battleground to be the top dog on SmackDown. Because then when you get to the first show, or the second live show technically after WWE Battleground, then you have a champion, you have that sort of thing. So, but since they're not going to go that way, and they might make it a tournament, they might make it something else, or they might just want to try to build up to it to SummerSlam. Either way, definitely looking forward to how this draft is going because I'm really excited about it. I know in the past I talked about how I wanted that change, wanted the draft back, wanted Brand split back, but with Roman Reigns on the suspension, we'll see if he even is able to be drafted there on that date. And technically, he's not on the active roster until after that taping or after that show, their live show on SmackDown July 19th. But anyways, news and notes. Let's get back to our draft. And next up would be Me with his 11th pick.
All right. Let's see here. All right, let me go ahead and take my camera off here so I can put the phone down. I am going to go with. Oh man. Yeah, I might as well do it. I'm going to go with Naomi because I need some women wrestlers.
That's for sure. We both do. And in that light, for Monday Night Raw, I select Paige.
All right. All right, Paige. That's going to be really good with Charlotte. I'm then going to go with Becky Lynch.
Okay, I see where we're going here at this point of the draft. Kind of like a fantasy football draft or the real NFL draft where you get a point where there's runs on positions or things like that.
Pretty much.
And it looks like here in our own draft, we're going to have a run on women's wrestlers because here, with my next pick in the 2016 WWE Draft to represent Monday Night Raw, I pick Summer Rae.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to go with. Rosa Mendez is actually WWE.
Yep.
But I'm not going with her though.
I was worried there.
No, I'm not. No, I refuse. Um, let's see. I am going to go with because I need someone to make them look bad. Eva Marie.
Oh snap!
Oh my gosh! I want to have John Cena and Eva Marie on the same show.
Oh heck yeah!
The boo's gonna be real with this one.
Especially if you ever book them in a mixed tag match.
Oh gosh.
Damn, that would be super crazy. All right, my next pick here in the run of women superstars. Let me see here. Hmm. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go off from that. My next pick, former champion Y2J Chris Jericho.
All right. Can't fault you for that one. I am going to pick. Mm, mm, I'm going to go with Biggie Langston.
Okay. What number are we on right now?
You are on 14.
Okay.
We're both on. Well, that's my 14th pick. Go ahead.
Okay. My next pick, also a member of the New Day. I pick Xavier Woods.
Ooh, you breaking up the New Day. All right. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to go with. Hmm, yeah, yeah. I think I'm going to have to do it
Hmm.
just to make sure that I have them. I'm going with Mauro Ronaldo for commentating
Okay. Okay.
because they do draft commentators, right?
No, no. I'm just okay. Whatever.
No, I'm just making sure. 'Cause I remember Michael Cole got drafted to SmackDown one time when they did the draft, old school
No,
style.
no,
So
no, no. I wasn't saying it because of that. I was saying it because of what my next pick is gonna be. But my next pick to represent Monday Night Raw, being part of the announced team's awesomeness. Crap. Now now I forgot his name. Uh, dang it. Now I gotta look that up. He was
what time?
the announcer from NXT.
Oh, that's Tom
Corey
Phillips.
Graves.
Oh, you want Corey Graves?
Yeah, Corey Graves.
Are we able to draft NXT talent?
Well, you can poach one. I'll take Corey Graves. You can take one, whether wrestler or announcer. But that's just my one. I can't take any more.
Okay, so you're leaving it at one. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if I had to pick one NXT guy, now that you said that, one NXT guy to go of all this stuff I got right here.
Yep. To make that roster shine.
This is a tough one. If I'm picking one NXT guy right now,
Yeah. One.
mm, because I want to see that. I want to see that fight between them at a combined pay per view. I gotta go Shinsuke Nakamura
Nice.
because I got John Cena on there, and to validate who Nakamura is, I have to have him destroy John Cena. Um, and I had pretty much gonna have to run roughshod over all these guys.
And yeah, that definitely deserves something. Good book there with Nakamura being your one NXT talent. All right, my next pick for the draft, part of the announced team, Renee Young.
All right, good pick. You gonna have her actually on announcing the action?
Yep, I'm sliding her in. She deserves it. Promotion.
No, but I really I agree with you. I think that she has the ability to keep up with a lot of the male commentators, um, and she can actually contribute something. I mean, we've seen what she does on the pre-shows, and she's very good at facilitating conversation. And with Corey Graves the way he is, you can have a good back and forth type thing where he's coming off like he's bullying the girl and all that nonsense. It could be real fun. Um, let's see. You're going commentary team. I guess I will go commentary team. And because he'll make Ronaldo look that much smarter, I'm going to go with JBL.
JBL.
I got to, because he's gonna really sell a bunch of dumb stuff, and Mara can be like just like totally shut him down
Oh yeah.
because Michael Cole doesn't know how to do that. So I think Mara can do that.
Yep, yep. But hey, with any announced team, you have to have that flagship person. As you know, for that trio of announced team, for you, it seems like it's gonna be Mauro Ranallo. For me, the voice of WWE, Michael Cole.
All right, you just had to pick Michael Cole. All right, just kidding. I was like Michael Cole.
No, no, no,
That's what
I
you
know.
want. All right, so you got Michael Cole. I'm actually going to do old school two-man announce team. I'm not worried about any more commentators
Okay.
on my thing here. So I'm going to go back to acquiring. I'm going to go with the voice, the real voice of SmackDown, who knows how to say the rated R superstar better than anybody else. Tony Chimmel. That's my announcer,
Ah.
ring announcer
Oh,
rather.
ring announcer, Tony Chimmel. Nice. I know he does that. He does do that pretty well.
Superstar. He's
So
funny.
rated R superstar Edge. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, well I guess I gotta have a ring announcer. You gotta have somebody there. Can't be me. I have work to do as GM. But for my ring announcer, I'm gonna go with the lovely, awesome, beautiful, talented JoJo.
Oh, good choice. I wish Eden was still available to pick.
Oh heck yeah, I wish.
All right, let's see. We're now on the 19th pick of this draft. And I am going to pick. Hmm. Hmm. Kofi Kingston.
Okay, for my 19th pick here, I'm going to select someone that I see coming back. Someone that will be coming back at some point, obviously. Luke Harper.
Knew I should have put Luke Harper first before you. Crap! I needed him and Bray together. Ah, darn it. That's all right though. I can't fault you for that. Let me get this guy before you get him.
So these are our final picks here.
He's probably going to be back too. I'm going to make sure I get Adrian Neville.
Good, because he was going
That's
to be,
number 20 for me.
yeah, he was going to be my final pick. Yeah, Adrian Neville.
Yeah,
But
once
no,
you take Harper, I had to get him.
no, hey, that makes sense. But my final pick to keep a tag team together and not break them up like I did with the New Day, Enzo Amore.
Yeah, I purposely didn't pick Enzo because for some odd reason, and maybe this is just me, I think that Kaz is strong on his own, but he's stronger with Enzo as his mouthpiece.
Hmm.
Because Kaz needs a mouthpiece right now. Because when he talks, he sounds like a meathead, which he looks like a meathead too. But
Hmm.
all fairness to him, he needs someone with bars talking for him the whole time.
Yeah, but
Excuse me.
yeah, but I'm just thinking to seem to the things that have happened in the past couple of weeks, months, whatever, between with Enzo and Cass together, and the way WWE been booking things, especially specifically with Big Cass. I think all the way back to when Enzo was injured, and the time Big Cass being on his own and stuff like that. Maybe they want to split them up actually at the WWE draft. That could actually be a poss. I wouldn't be shocked, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked if Enzo and Cass are broken up in that way, because I'd rather have them
Uh,
broken up that way in the draft than being
yeah.
broken up in a storyline and having to face each other right away, sort of thing. I'd want it this way, where they're technically together because they're still buddy buddy or whatever, but wishing each other luck on their own shows. And then when the brands have together pay-per-views, as we mentioned earlier, can be in tag team, whether tag team title matches or just tag team matches, all four of those shows, sort of thing, would be cool as well. Just like I wouldn't want to see the Lucha Dragons because I thought they should be next WWE Tag Team Champions. Um, but if anything out of the tag teams that I could see broken up, besides the Dudley Boys, would be Enzo and Cass be broken up the WWE draft. But
Hmm. Yeah, but no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we're at 20. We're at 20 apiece.
so since
We have
I just
our base roster where we're going to surround pretty much these people. I believe this 20 is going to be where we surround the majority of our uh, top of the card and mid card storyline feuds.
oh yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, since you have it in front of you, let the people know of all the picks and your thoughts on each of the rosters.
Let's see. Well, I want to talk about my roster. Talk about my roster real quick. Hold on, real quick, while I do this. Sure. Check your message box so you can see your roster. I put Renee Young as announcer. I meant to put commentator. I apologize. So that way you can look at your roster and break down what you got going on there
I will, but what message are you talking about? I don't see a message
in your inbox, Facebook.
on my Facebook inbox. I Let me check again. But keep going.
Okay.
Go through your roster.
Steven C. Compline. Check that one. All right. So here's where I feel about now. A lot of people will probably say, well, why would you pick Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn together, knowing that we'll probably see that match 800,000 times? Just because they're on the same roster doesn't mean they have to be booked in the same matches or interfere in the same matches or even be a part of each other's storylines. Now, granted, it's easier if they're on separate shows, but this is where you have a creative thought process come in, where you can take a year worth of storyline, two separate storylines that somehow intersect at the right moment, in which then you can go ahead and have a WrestleMania match between them two. They put on fantastic regular matches that when you actually get to a specialized match at a WrestleMania, it'll be that much more special. Some similar to there was a ladder match on YouTube right now that they had an ROH, and if you were to see that match and the list that they went to in that match, then you will understand what they're willing to do to get over what it is that they do in the ring. And both of them, Kevin Owens more so than Sami Zayn, can do a lot of the talking and handle it. And there's a lot of bad blood, a lot of on air bad blood between these two guys who are such good friends and such good compatriots that they bring out every ounce of that emotion in their feud. That's why I had them too. Also had Bray Wyatt on there, and I see the strength of Bray Wyatt would actually be to finally break through the John Cena ceiling. And so that he can go ahead and topple John Cena. If the new era is supposed to go through John Cena, then John Cena has to lose and he'll win some major stuff. Like, I'll probably make sure that he wins some stuff against the Miz. He'll win some stuff against Dolph Ziggler. He'll win occasionally against Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. But these guys are getting clean wins on him. All these guys that he'll win to, they're getting clean wins. He's not getting any more protected wins. Not if I was in charge of SmackDown, because in order to solidify and validate people in the eyes of hardcore wrestling fans and in the eyes of the casual wrestling fan, then some heels need to be able to go over the face cleanly and just show you that, hey, this day, this guy was the better man. That is the power of John Cena that I hate, yet that's the power that I'm going to use to my advantage to get over the next generation of superstars. John Cena's not going to be around forever, so we have to prepare accordingly. So that's what I see there. Picking Naomi, I think Naomi has been very slighted in the women's division because of just what Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Paige have brought to the table. And Paige has been slighted because of some of the dumb stuff she does behind the scenes. But Naomi has worked her butt off tremendously, and she's by far probably the most athletic diva. I'm about to say diva again. Athletic woman wrestler on that roster. And I believe if we allow her to let that out and let that go, then I believe that she'll be able to capture the attention of everybody else. Big E Langston, because you just need another large guy. Baron Corbin, Cesaro are just big guys. Bray Wyatt is a big guy too, and I kind of just needed that balance right there to go with all the athletic guys that I have on this roster as well. The Miz, because you need a certifiable guy that everyone's going to constantly hate, no matter what feud he's in. He's always going to be the bad guy, even when it seems like he's a good guy. So I got him for that reason, because he knows how to draw heat. A lot of people don't like The Miz. I know he's not the best wrestler. Surprisingly, a better worker than people give him out to be. And he takes he will take extra hard bumps for people, even when he don't need to at this point in his career. If you observe the matches he had with AJ Styles, he was perfectly fine with getting roughed up. He was perfectly fine with like AJ laying in those hits on him. So I'll take The Miz because I know he knows how to take a beating. Shinsuke Nakamura, because he oozes charisma. He has the mic skills he has the English mic skills of a newborn baby, but he doesn't need them for everything else that he brings to the table. And it's like, I've never seen him wrestle before his one Wrestle Kingdom match that I saw with AJ Styles and the matches that I saw in NXT. And every time he comes to the ring, I'm just like mesmerized by this guy. I'm like, this dude is awesome. Not to mention that he makes it look like he makes wrestling look like a combat sport, which is something that I think since the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era that the WWE has lost over time, that the ability to make it seem like these guys are really laying in some hits. If I had to say, and there's any logical weaknesses to my roster, weakness to my roster will probably have to be. Well, the weakness of my roster is probably going to be Dolph Ziggler because people have seen him just so much. He's oversaturated when it comes to the TV product. Him and Sheamus have wrestled, I think, combined by now, almost 900 to 1,000 matches on TV. They're some of the hell, even though with their injuries, they still wrestle on TV more than almost anybody else on the roster combined. So he'll be the weak point because while people would like to see him, they see him way too much. I think one of the strongest aspects of my roster is going to be actually Mauro Ranallo. Vince gets off of his case when it comes to commentating more so that he kind of like just Michael Cole, you have to do this. I think he respects Mauro Ranallo more because of everything that he's accomplished and the way he commentates. Because Vince doesn't want people to have play-by-play as if they're a real sport. They want to be kind of entertained by anecdotes and crap. And Mauro doesn't do that. And everything that I have on my roster, he can make it seem like it's better than it actually is. And I think that's one of the benefits of having him on my roster because he creates a mystique about my roster that I believe that Michael Cole just can't. It's not that Michael Cole's bad. It's just that he's a puppet and he won't do a JR and tell Vince to be quiet and let me do my job because I think Michael Cole actually has a talent to actually be a good commentator if he just suck it up and just tells Vince McMahon to go screw in the light bulb somewhere.
One question to ask you here on the spot for your SmackDown roster there. With those 20 superstars, who would you have as your first World Heavyweight Champion?
Oh, my first world heavyweight champion. That's a good question. My first world heavyweight champion is gonna have to be John Cena. And the reason why it has to be John Cena is because when Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, probably Bray Wyatt, when I have Bray Wyatt beat him, it will make his championship reign much more valuable. Yes, I know I know I'll have John Cena tie Ric Flair's record.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, he ain't getting the championship opportunity ever again. After he loses to Bray Wyatt in the rematch, he ain't gonna be nowhere near it. I'll leave him tied. I'm sorry that I have to leave him tied, but in order to really, actually no, Bray Wyatt's gonna be my first champion. I take that back, and he's gonna beat John Cena in the number one contenders match. There we go. He's gonna beat John Cena in the number one contenders match for the championship. Actually, for in a championship title match type setting. There it is.
Right.
A tournament type setting, and it's gonna be him and John Cena in the final match. John Cena like he's gonna tie Ric Flair's record. Nope. And Bray Wyatt wins. That way is all the more sweeter because you have the face that runs the place. So he says, who's 15-time champion, all that stuff, and you'll have Bray Wyatt going over him. And we saw what he did to Bray Wyatt in the past. We saw how they allowed him to bury Bray Wyatt. They pretty much told him to do so, and they allowed it to happen. How that will be sweet revenge for people who are Bray Wyatt fans, how that'll be sweet revenge for Bray Wyatt's career, and how that will then propel Bray Wyatt into a legitimate, dark, fear-mongering bad guy that he should have been by beating The Undertaker, but they never let him beat The Undertaker, which is stupid. But anyway.
I was just gonna correlate that with The Undertaker. He'd be like an Undertaker type champion with the gimmick that he has. And then he doesn't really need to win the championship as much as the Undertaker, even with his awesomeness and pedigree of his career. I don't know he was that many time champion, but when he was accounted, and with his character, he didn't really need the title for the feuds that he was part of. Plus, he was kind of the pseudo Mr. WrestleMania after Shawn Michaels, of course, but Mr. WrestleMania with him being the marquee of WrestleManias with his streak, and then even a little bit little bit less though, but a little bit after the streak was broken by Brock Lesnar. So if Bray Wyatt was champion, whether it's right away, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have an issue with that. I mean, as people know, supporters and fans of the show and the channel know that I might not be the biggest fan of Bray's and the Wyatt families in general, but Bray was to be the first world champion. If he is drafted to SmackDown in the real WWE draft and their booking of it, then I wouldn't be upset about it. It'd be good for him and his career and yada yada. But I would also worry and think that maybe it's a little too soon for him to be the champion. Maybe you would need a Cena or a Rollins if Rollins was on the roster to be the champion. I really hope that in the actual WWE draft, July 19th, that don't have Dean Ambrose go to SmackDown because I think the fact that him being now the WWE champion, WWE champion being the number one title should be on Raw. So it's him being the guy right now that should be being on Raw and have Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, and others on SmackDown, and maybe even Kevin Owens you can put into that group, maybe, and then have them battling out for the title. It could be, you could have a battle royal for it. You could have a tournament for it. I think the best way to do it would be tournament, but we'll see how that goes, how they want to do that. But I'm just really excited to see how things progress when we get to the draft and how everything shakes out. Because like I said, I'm really happy that it's back. I'm really happy that the brand split is here and the draft is here. I always did enjoy the WWE drafts and stuff like that. I know some didn't, some do, whatever, prerogative, but to me, I enjoyed them and looking forward to this one here. Because this one is certainly going to be very interesting, especially with the timing of it all being the Go Home SmackDown show, also being the first live episode of SmackDown, all culminated into one. So that'll make it very, even more intriguing to me. As I look at my Monday Night Raw roster, and thank you for the message, for my roster, Dean Ambrose, WWE Champion, of course, as I just said, you want your WWE Champion to be, or the main title, and your champion there on the main show. So WWE Champion Dean Ambrose should be on Monday Night Raw flagship of the WWE flagship show. Roman Reigns, could already be the main contender. Of course, Big Cass and Enzo. Of course, I draft them both. Keep it a tag team. I probably would later on draft some other tag teams. Of course, add to the tag team roster. Women's division. Probably up we have Charlotte, Summer Rae, and Paige all in the mix there. I really want to give Paige and Summer Rae more of a chance, give them actually, be part of feuds. As I fill out the roster after 20 picks, adding some more divas if I'm able to, if they're not, snatched up by Emmy SmackDown. But building the women's division, building the roster, having feuds on Raw Central, and then you have the feuds on SmackDown, Emmy SmackDown, be able to formulate things where we have cross brands, have battles for the women's title and everything. But you also, for Raw, have the added bonus, you have the women's champion on Raw, that even on those Raw centric pay per views, you could have women's title matches with the women on Raw. And then how that would be built from there. Y2J Chris Jericho having a veteran like him, as well as Brock Lesnar, Apollo Crews, an up and coming guy who I want to build up more. And Luke Harper, someone that from the Wyatt family, being the best member of the Wyatt family, even above Bray Wyatt, in my opinion, um, could have the best run in singles competition, even more than Bray. Um, that's how it's going to be, but in my eyes, could have been, yada yada. So I have Luke Harper on my roster, and we have champions. Like I said, Charlotte Women's Champion, U.S. Champion Rusev. So probably, we have Rusev, Luke Harper, Apollo Crews already in the mix, as well as Alberto Del Rio, Randy Orton. I have coming back. Because wouldn't you love to see a Randy Orton Brock Lesnar match? People have been wanting that for a long time to be able to have it on Raw, let alone a Raw specific pay-per-views. Views from there. Then we have my announced team, or the three team: Corey Graves, Renee Young, and Michael Cole. Michael Cole spearheading it. JoJo be my ring announcer. And pretty much rounds out. Oh, AJ Styles as well, being one of the contenders. But I really did want to bring up the New Day because I think the New Day at some point does need to split up. Whether it's actually going to happen in the draft, I doubt it. But in our drafting here, I kind of wanted to do that because I kind of wanted to see Xavier Woods on his own, see if I could actually, see if I could actually be able to, first book up right and make strong and be able to see that Xavier could actually do something on his own. Because before the New Day, it doesn't seem like WWE really was doing much with him, with the character, and really just floundering. Then the New Day happen, and now as popular as they are and over as they are, which is awesome. But what's going to happen when they split up? Kofi's going to be okay. Big E's going to be one they're probably going to push the most. So where does that leave Xavier? So hopefully here on my Monday Night Raw, be able to build him up and be able to, and hopefully the fans will be able to get behind him as a singles competitor and not always just associate him, whether good or bad, whatever, with the New Day and have him build himself up on his own as a solo competitor than always having to have that tie in with the New Day um, to build him up, build him up on his own. So I like how my roster is set in that way. I feel face heels as well. So I think both of us have great, strong rosters for our picks. Now, what we're gonna do, or what I'm gonna do, thanks to Emmy for typing all this stuff out, but um, I'm obviously gonna keep mine. He'll keep his. When the WWE draft actually happens, we'll see if they draft it the way that we would have drafted. We'll see if we get any of these correct from our own drafts here of how we would do it. Now, probably not because again, we're drafting on how we would do it and drafting it, not of our predictions of WWE. So, but we'll still see if some of the picks do go where we drafted him there tonight to go. But definitely looking forward to that because I know also talking WWJ, we did a not really a mock draft that could be live on air, but we did a drafting off air that will be shown on I believe the Thursday before the draft that previous week, and then on main event marks sometime soon we'll be doing a draft. That's up to the host, Angry Cooter, to decide which episode that'll be here upcoming. But so in each and every show that I'm part of something that has to do with draft, and we'll see how the actual draft lines up specifically here for this show, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, with our picks here tonight, and see how it all goes down. So any final thoughts, words about the draft in general, our picks, anything WWE, and let the people know where they can find you, social media.
Oh yeah. Well, um, excuse me. Here we go. So if you need to find me, the guy they know as ME, you can find me at ME Richmond on the Twitter, just like it said, ME Richmond on the Twitter. You can hear me bashing John Cena. You can hear me bashing Draymond Green, even though he earned my respect. I still bash him. Um, you can also find me on excuse me. Um, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can find me on Fox Sports Radio 1340 AM in Hopewell, Virginia. We are a radio station. We're a local radio affiliate that actually talks wrestling. And with SmackDown going live, we'll probably be able to go ahead and have a full week of wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Right now, when it's pay-per-view weeks, we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. When it's non-pay-per-view weeks, it's primarily just Monday, Tuesday, and a little bit on Wednesday. We're incorporating a lot of wrestling into wrestling segments into our shows, and so that's where you can find me as well. And thank you to Stephen Kapleen for offering his platform for me to give my thoughts on wrestling. And I do respect you for that, and thank you very much for offering the platform to me.
Yeah, definitely great to have you on, especially for this draft, being able to go back and forth and do that. It's very awesome. Everybody can check me out, obviously, on Twitter at W_podcast. I live tweet for pay-per-views and such like that. I also tweet sometimes my links for these episodes of podcasts 'cause it's always better to talk with people than being a one-man band that I am. I am still also, to let people know, I am still looking hard to trying to find a co-host for this show, along with my NFL show, Talking Packers with Steve. Looking for a co-host to be for either show, both show, however floats the person's vote, and I can change times and however just have to talk with you one on one if if you're the person that's interested to see if that would work out because I really would want to have someone to communicate with like I had here tonight with my host or with my guest here, Me. Back and forth. You get another person's opinion. Make the show stronger in that way too than just hearing one person's, talking for 45 minutes or 20 minutes or so. However, but thanks to Emmy again for being on the show. I will be back actually later tonight. I'll be back for a third time. First, I was on Talking WWE with Jay at 6 p.m. Central. That episode should be archived on the channel. Then here, obviously, right now, Steve's Wrestling Ramble on my channel. And later tonight, actually, in the next hour, 10 p.m. Central, I will be live again here on my channel with my episodic review of the TV show MTV Scream that is on right now, actually, as I speak. I'll be doing a review with my co-host for that show. I do have a co-host for at least that, Jay, talking everything MTV Scream. So looking forward to that. So as always, everybody have a great rest of your day, rest of your evening. Take care.